Everyone enjoys a little chill at Halloween. But did you know some of the creepiest places in America are on public lands? Here are just a few, if you're brave enough to visit. For 3 decades, Alcatraz in San Francisco Bay was a federal penitentiary, a remote location to house the worst of the worst. Touring the old prison today, especially at night, one can only imagine the grimness of confinement here, which drove so many desperate prisoners to try and escape, often with deadly results. From California to Colorado, Montana to New Mexico, you can still find the skeletons of towns that lived and died faster than a Western gunslinger. Most of them are just ruins now, a lonely chimney, a silent stone wall, but others look like they've just been abandoned, like something came and took all the people. America has no shortage of swamplands. The Great Dismal Swamp of Virginia and North Carolina is one of the most famous. Part of the Underground Railroad, it was the perfect hiding place for runaway slaves. It's been called a haunted place since the colonial days, with sightings of mysterious, unexplained lights and the legendary Lady of the Lake. He was America's earliest master of the macabre, and for a year, Edgar Allan Poe lived in this Philadelphia house, the only Poe residence in the city to survive. No one knows which stories he might have penned here, but it's said Poe's 6 years in Philadelphia were his most productive. That's where he wrote The Murders in the Rue Morgue and The Tell-Tale Heart. What's scarier than the end of the world? Deep beneath Yellowstone National Park lurks a supervolcano, one capable perhaps of reducing our civilization to ruins. Or perhaps not. Opinions vary. But one thing that is unquestionably deadly in the here and now, Yellowstone's boiling acidic springs that can dissolve a human body in hours. What's that they always say in all the horror films? Stay on the path? That's an excellent idea. There's nothing too terribly scary about Devil's Tower, except perhaps its name. Oh, and all those Native American legends of hideous giant bears menacing helpless children, forcing them to scale its heights. And millions know Devil's Tower best as a magnet for UFOs and close encounters of the third kind. But across the country, you can find the legend of the Jersey Devil, a supernatural creature said to haunt the Pine Barrens of New Jersey, with its goat-like head, leathery bat wings, horns, clawed hands, and a forked tail, and a terrible habit of screaming. For hundreds of years, the Puebloan people of Mesa Verde lived in these amazing cliff dwellings in what's now Colorado. Then, seemingly overnight, they just left. But they left no written record, and while there are dozens of theories, no one knows for sure. All that remains are these magnificent ruins and one big mystery. In the high desert of Lake County, Oregon, one comes upon a macabre sight. The wreckage of 2 aircraft that went down within sight of each other, but nearly 30 years apart, in 1945 and 1973. 2 plaques memorialize the 3 lives lost in this isolated and lonely place. Some call Mammoth Cave in Kentucky the largest haunted place in the world. More than 400 miles of twists and turns, reaching to the subterranean depth of 30 stories. And stories abound here. Stories of ghosts and apparitions and native legends. Sadly, there's one horror story that is a deadly reality. The strange white nose syndrome killing off bats all over the country, even here in Mammoth Cave. When it comes to tales of ghosts and haunted houses, few cities can rival the nation's capital. And no house is said to be more haunted than the White House itself. There have been endless sightings of the spirits of former presidents over the centuries, from Thomas Jefferson playing his violin in the Yellow Oval Room, to the ghost of Abraham Lincoln surprising a visiting Prime Minister Winston Churchill in his bath. At Interior, we will make no claim that ghosts are real or imagined, whether they are restless spirits or just a name we give to mysterious things that go bump in the night. But you can check the description down below for more information on all these locations, and wherever your own wanderings may take you, have a happy Halloween.